going out on one, or we are going to go out on one, aren't we?
Of course. Well, yeah.
Well,
That's the idea, that's why we're here.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to this episode of Railriders. In this episode, we explore the Epping And Ongar Railway's Diesel Gala on the 27th of April 2019.
Do those head codes work, or have they literally put pieces of paper in?
I think they've seen that. They didn't when they were first there. There was nothing.
No, they don't give them pieces of paper.
Lovely. Love it?
Yes.
After sadly missing the full cold start-up at the 37, the guard prepares our train for the first departure out of North Weald to Ongar, North Weald being the main headquarters of the railway. D7612 or 37029 struggles to depart out of this station. Unfortunately, these old carriages on heritage railways, depending on their age, can play up from time to time. On this particular moment, demonstrated here on these Mark II coaches, the handbrake seized up, and this is what caused the 37 to struggle out of the station. Eventually it did unseize, but it just goes to show that the maintenance is really high for operating something like this. I guess we can safely say that we should give the volunteers credit for operating these railways.
Braddock, here he comes.
What's wrong, Mr. Braddock? Why did we stop?
Handbrake seized on the coaches.
Oh.
Off we go.
We are hurtling down the track of the Epping And Ongar Railway. Oh my goodness! Here is Mr. Whyment and Mr. Braddock of Railriders. We are going to... We are currently behind the tractor, which is all good.
Of our train, now going to be leading us back to North Weald and towards Epping Forest, is Class 4740635 Jimmy Milne, which has recently been restored at this moment in time to this fantastic brightly painted large logo livery. The locomotive was one of 2 star attractions at this event.
So this is the 9:45 to Epping, leaving 2 minutes late.
Look at these two.
I'm sorry, but that's the best 47 I've heard.
You reckon?
That's bloody brilliant.
I agree. It's quite lively.
Just a little bit. Diesel fumes. Gotta. Smells like 47.
Yes, it does.
I'm proper hyper today. Don't know why.
Oh, really?
It's that coffee that you had on the way
Yes.
down. I downed a cup of Mackey's coffee. I'm sure they put
Oh,
something
yeah,
in
Mackey's breakfast.
I had 3 double sausage egg McMuffins. You don't get the size I am now by not eating double sausage egg McMuffins.
Oh, yes.
It's fashion
But
test.
you can't help it. I mean, it's lovely though, isn't it? It's such an egg muffins.
Yeah. God, yeah. Definitely.
Just can't help it.
All of us fellow rail riders here really enjoyed this 47, and there was something about it which sounded so good, and it was one of the best sounding 47s, or as Will Braddock put it, the best sounding 47 he has heard. As we approach North Weald once again, the railway's resident Class 31 31438 had started up in platform 2 to take the next train down to Ongar Station. We are going to catch this service because the other star attraction of the event is on the rear of this train, and also the star guest of this gala, Class 25 D7612, visiting from the South Devon Railway. So what we done now, Mr. Braddock?
Well, we've got a front window on 7612. The reason I came.
You can hear it, it's making some noise now.
I'm going to record that.
Looks like it's really does have the toes blue. Yes, so that's amazing.
Clearly assisting 31.
Yeah. Two just rabbit choice. Look at
that! Look at that guy!
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
No. Ongar Station is the railway's terminus and is where locomotives run round the stock to connect to the other end and head the train back towards North Weald. However, on this event, the most trains were top and tailed services. We're here, ready to go on the Rat 25, highly anticipated journey. We're waiting for the right of way. Can't wait for it. The British Rail Class 25 diesel locomotives, also known as the Sulzer Type 2, were a class of 327 locomotives built between 1961 and 1967 for British Rail. They were numbered in 2 series, D5151 to D5299 and D7500 to D7677. D7612 is a Class 25-3 variant. This variant was a 10-pole machine with a modified assembly. Most of the 25-3s were fitted with dual braking, therefore they can be used on both vacuum stock and air brake stock. In 1856, the Eastern Counties Railway, which later became part of the Great Eastern Railway, opened a double-track railway between Stratford and Loughton. A single-track extension between Loughton and Ongar was added in 1865. Increased usage on the line led to the building of double track between Loughton and Epping. At this point, 50 trains operated between London and Loughton each day, with a further 22 continuing to Epping and 14 more to Ongar. Little changed in the intervening years. Due to reduced passenger numbers, Blake Hall Station, the midway point of the line, was closed on Sundays, and a reduced weekday timetable implemented from the 17th of October 1966. In the same year, Central Line 1962 stop replaced the two 4-car trains on the branch line. Continued decline in passenger numbers led to the decommissioning of the passing loop and signal box at North Weald in 1976. It was unsuccessful, and the London Transport closed the loss-making section on the 30th of September 1994. The Epping and Ongar Preservation Society bought this section from Epping to Ongar and revamped it to what you see today. Back at North Weald, Joe manages to get a look into the cab. The railway's currently on loan Class 20 D8001 was on a driver experience on this particular weekend. Me and Simon later in the day will experience this driver experience as we book tickets in order to do it. On its way down from Epping Forest with a train bound for North Weald is the railway's resident Class 117 diesel multiple unit. D7612 now departs for Epping Forest with 47635 on the rear. while later, we see 47635 departing with a service for Ongar on its own, with no tailing loco. Class 25 follows up shortly after to connect to the other end of the stock in platform 1 for the Epping train.
Binkz has the times.
Oh, hello. Right, I forgot about this section. So, where are we going? Ongar? Ongar?
Well, yeah, I imagine so, yeah.
What time is it now? It is 12 o'clock on the dot. So, next one will be 12:35. Arriving there at 12:50 with D7612 and 31438 on the back.
And that is what is in the station as we speak.
Right, time to get on.
Yeah, Joe, it's a bit too late to get the train, as you can see.
Damn it.
As you can see, we missed our train. However, not to worry, because it will be back momentarily into platform 2. Well, I say momentarily, more like 20 minutes or so later. However, we're going to catch this service down to Ongar on board of the Class 25 again. As we await for departure down to Ongar, D6729 37029 heads into platform 1 with the train for Epping. On our way down to Ongar, I'm going to keep quiet so you can enjoy the thrash of this Sulzer Type 2 machine, D7612. back at Ongar now, 47635 Jimmy Milne connects to the end of our train in order to take it back towards North Weald. Yes, on the way down to Ongar, D7612 was running on its own.
Hello, Beeman.
Hello.
Braddock.
How you doing?
Inside.
Waste of brake blocks.
Brake blocks.
I've experienced it before.
I'm just. I vlog, so. Look, guys, I'm a vlogger. I am genuinely a vlogger.
Dreamer.
Binkz is indeed a vlogger, and if you check out his YouTube channel at Binkz, you'll see plenty of his vlogs. Now back at North Weald Station, we see 47635 Jimmy Milne heading into platform 2. Same principle like earlier on in the programme, the Class 25 will hitch to the other end of the train in Platform 1 to form the Epping train. Now it's time for mine and Simon's drive experience on Class 20 8001. Before we set off though, we have to wait for Class 25 Diesel Locomotive D7612 to head into Platform 2 of North Weald. After this, Simon can depart down and out of the bay platform.
side thing is I know that Ken didn't see okay at this point. You have to be with someone you can trust, that's all.
As we approach the outer signal into North Weald, a bit of juggling commences as we head in. Simon has to pull up behind the Class 31. The Class 25 departs with a train bound for Ongar. The Class 31 then heads up to the end of the loop, ready to prepare to back on to the train in Platform 1. This will form the service to Epping, with D7612 leading the train. With 31438 clearing a section into the station, Simon can now move up with 8001 into the station platform.
That's the first time that 45's moved under its own power in 20 years. 15 metres from the nearest property. And we've got an agreement with the local council. We won't have locomotion. They're expecting to find birds' nests and stuff in the traction motors. They've obviously got a little help.
Someone breaks cylinders with seas, but they must have done that.
31438 now prepares to back onto the stock in Platform 1. The Class 31s were known as the Brush Type 2 and originally as Class 30 and were built by Brush Traction of Loughborough from 1957 to 1962. Simon can now go up the line towards Ongar, up to the far signal outside of North Weald.
Crossing's clear, we're going to bring it up to a quarter.
Class 20 locomotives were known as the English Electric Type 1, and is a class of diesel electric locomotive. In total, 228 locomotives of the class were built by English Electric between 1957 and 1968. The large number being in part because of the failure of earlier type designs in the same power range to provide reliable locomotives. They were nicknamed choppers by enthusiasts due to the distinctive beat they produce when under power. That sort of resembles the sound of a helicopter.
No, off to Skegness, he said.
Summertime excursion.
We're going up to that red light?
Yes.
I need a bit more power.
Oh, you can hear that.
Just easy back off. Back to where it says on. Let the amps run down a bit. And then go all the way off. And then onto the brake. Bring it up to 20.
It's time for me to have a go on the return trip to North Weld Bay platform.
So use that slowly closed. Have a little go for the brake so you get the hang of it. Got about 20 on that gauge.
As I said, I had to wait for the Epping train to head out of the station before I can proceed into North Weld platform.
quite a lot of brake because the red is staying red. That's it. A bit more brake, a bit more brake. So we'll stop here. Brake on again, brake on again.
The Class 45, heading up and down the yard, was doing its first ever test runs in preservation, number 45132. His locomotive had never run since the 1980s.
Levelling out now. Get ready on that brake, start slowing it down. We're going to go down to the lamp post. This first one with the people standing here, where your mates are standing. A bit more brake, a bit more brake. Whereabouts are you sending?
That lamp post, you know.
Yeah, hello. Yep. That's perfect.
After the awesome experience on the Class 20, we see Class 31, 438 heading in with a train bound for Ongar into Northweld Platform 2. Finishing off our Railriders programme, we see Class 20 8001 heading out with a brake van service. We do hope you've enjoyed this episode of Railriders and it has inspired you to watch more episodes within this series. Goodbye for now.
And we're off.
High intensity lights are on, oh my goodness gracious me.